the support,
the camaraderie.
Quarter-final time in the men's 45s. Crunch time starts here at Highfields Sports Complex in the heart of England. Humid, warm evening in the middle of July. Perfect weather to watch, maybe not perfect weather to play if you're in the business end of a very busy multi-day competition at the 2024 Touch World Cup. We've got Wales in black and red against Switzerland in the red. Switzerland are going to tap off, and to help me, my name's Chris Weirmouth, and to help take me through this, Alice Thomas. How are you? How's your day going?
My day has been ecstatic. I've seen a lot of touch and a lot more to come with the up and coming days, especially with this knockout touch footy. Don't know what's going to happen, and that's the thrill of it.
So, just to give you a quick rundown of the format, just before we tap off. So, the men's 45s had two pools. Wales finished second in Pool A with a record of 4 wins and a loss, and a forfeit win from their 6 matches. Their only loss coming against, surprise, surprise, Australia. They beat Jersey, Chile, Spain and Fiji. Meanwhile, they're up against Switzerland, who finished third in Pool B, and they got that, maybe surprisingly, beating England 6-5 yesterday. And that's, I think, is going to be an indication just how tight this game's going to be, Alice.
Yeah, and we love a tight game during touch rugby. Just here, we see a penalty already getting given for a hard touch against Switzerland. So, new set of 6 for Wales.
So Switzerland on the defence now. They beat the Middle East. They beat Portugal. They beat England, and they beat Ireland. 2 losses coming against France and New Zealand.
Just the early ball there going wide for Wales, and that was touch 1. And just throwing that long ball can be so risky on touch 1 especially.
But they've turned the ball over here on this near side, which from their perspective is the best place to turn it over, because it's forcing Switzerland to get the ball wide, and that's exactly what they've done. Touch 2, and they're up to their 10-metre line already. 3, and they're on halfway. Plenty of opportunity to get some strike plays going. Switzerland into the Welsh half through James Weston, the number 3.
Just Switzerland's juggling the ball about here, but looking for a strike dump, and that's going to be 6 touch.
Yeah, that was so promising right at the start, wasn't it? They really got some good momentum to get the fresh legs on, which is exactly what Wales are doing now. But then it all just ground to a halt frustratingly for the Swiss.
Yeah, Wales coming here with some steam, looking like they're really explosive and bringing up the pace. Just giving the fly there to the leg, and he's running through all the way. Will he make it? Yes, he does. That's number 7 for Wales.
There's an absolute desperate attempted touch on the far side from Switzerland, but Paul Clarkson, that's some serious gas at this stage of the competition.
Yes, and we've seen a lot of wheels today, but those must be some new tyres on him, because he is going quick.
I think what we saw, and as we just see on the replay here, and it's his opposite number. So I just pulled the headphone socket out there. This is so exciting by that run.
It's so exciting.
That was his opposite number, Jamie Nettleton, who just couldn't live up to the pace. But it was the contrast there between how Switzerland's attack ground down, but Wales's attack gained momentum coming in from that sobering move.
Yes, totally agreed there. But just Switzerland's messing up that roll ball there and giving Wales an easy penalty on their 7.
And now they've got an extra player in kind, because Switzerland's number 4, James Vertonghen, took a tumble in the attempted touch, and this already we're showing some physicality here as well. Both teams are really stepping it up for finals football time, and Wales spreading the play wide down that right again. Has that touch come in on the wing up?
And it looks like there has been a touch called, and that's going to be 6 touch for Switzerland. So really, really well defended there and pushing out their Welsh defence. That looks so promising.
Christian Rees there put the pace on, the number 9, and already, you know, Wales has seemed to be targeting that Swiss left-hand defence. They've scored 1 down there already and looking to get another one, which really almost paid dividends just there, just a desperate touch. And Switzerland now need to hit back, and there's a dive over. Long pass over to the left. Is this going to be given?
And
yes,
it's going to be given. What a try for Switzerland. Wow.
Switzerland's first attack really ground to a halt, but this one ran like clockwork, and that pass over the middle, we see the reaction there.
Yeah, just going in for a dump and picking up and straight going. Straight to the wing and a missed pass. Yeah. Lovely finish in that corner.
Yeah, it's just that little step, that little off his left, off his right from Daniel Kilminster, number 2 in the Swiss midfield. Just there, got the Swiss going there. Dive comes in from Wales's Paul Clarkson, the number 7.
Wales really wanting to answer back here from Switzerland's score. So detrimental to this game. Wales picking up, looking outside, just passing it back in.
That's 6 touch there. Oh, this is just a straight 6 touch. I think are they doing anything particularly complicated, these two teams, or are you seeing anything complicated, or are they just head down and just power?
I think with all these men's 40s games and 45s games, I've seen a lot of physicality, and it seems like both teams are bringing that and just making sure the basics are done perfect. And this is what the two teams look like, but it intercepts from Wales there. Looks like a lot of 33 plays and looking for the fly around expansive plays.
Plenty of physicality, as we say, coming in, and we're just right behind the Welsh sub-box here, and they are looking absolutely pumped. They are well up for this. And in terms of the physicality, touch is a minimal contact sport, so what you'll see is touches, but arms bent, and just to really minimise to literally minimise the contact. But it's still, at this level, you're still dealing with a lot of players who really put their absolute everything into this.
And you can see a lot of the dives as well, bodies on the line. Even a diving touch or a diving try, we see it through opens and we see it through all these seniors and other squads, and it's amazing.
Well, if there's a day and a time to leave everything out on the field, it is today, because this is now elimination time.
Switzerland picking up here, but giving that pass off, so it won't be dummy half court, but just a normal touch, and that's 5th touch for Switzerland on their 7.
One opportunity to strike now for the Swiss. And they keep it onto that far side. Oh, what a dive in, but there's a great touch over on that far side.
Yeah, great recovery there by that Welsh winger to make that touch.
Darryl Williams is over there on that far side, number 15. He's nearly already been an integral figure, creating space for Wales's opening try, nearly finishing off one himself, and then stopping that, and off they come. The Welsh, they're getting some fresh sets on. Into the Swiss half goes Stuart Raya.
And this is where they scored their last try with the transition. Just picking up now, is he onside? Yes, the ref has called dummy half court. So lovely set from Switzerland, stepping up in that midfield defence.
It was just as Christian Rees was starting to get the pace going, and we could hear a from the Welsh box in front of us. They thought there might have been a question of offside from the Swiss midfield as to whether he got back the full 7. Referee's rule is final, obviously. But we're already seeing that these teams have the potential to really ask a lot of questions of their opposite numbers, whether, again, that's in physicality, like you've just seen. A lovely missed pass. What a dive.
And has
in.
that Wales player made that touch? I think it might be called forward there.
That has been called forward from the Swiss, and it's the dive coming in from Richard Downs, not from Richard Downs, James Vertigan, the Swiss number 4.
And he's been called offside, and Wales take the tap quickly, and great momentum and yards just gained from there. Oh, but the ref is not happy with that ball off the ruck, and it's going to be called back forward. Just a loss of the ball there.
Yeah, that's an interesting call there. You tend to, it's very rare that you see penalties given from the roll ball, but this is the best competition in the world. You've got to have the higher standards and the less leeway, especially in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, both teams stepping it up for the knockout rounds, and like we say, everything's on the line here, so every error, every mistake will count, and might put the other team in front.
When you have not played a team before in the competition, so because of the two pools, actually I'll ask this question in just a second, is Switzerland, oh no, so close!
Just looking for that long ball on that wing again.
That ball was so hot, it was dropped like a potato, and it was just by the Swiss on the far side. When you've not played a team during the competition, obviously because of the size of this category is Wales then drove. How much would have they been looking at who they're going to play in the quarterfinals, both of these teams, and would have sent their non-playing players to go and do some research?
Yeah, especially I know with the England setup, being an analyst myself, you've got to keep an eye out for all the teams that you might come into, start and study their patterns and study their type of play. But Switzerland with the ball now, looking for the tap in, but it's just going to be it's going to be something to do with the roll ball there. The referee has said. So Wales back on the ball.
Yeah, that was, I think it was the ball was played but didn't go through the legs. So just if this is the first time that you've been watching touch, the ball when it gets placed has to go between the legs. If it goes on the outside of the legs, then it's a turnover and a roll ball restart, which is exactly what we've seen.
Yeah, and it's just those basics and the error count. I've talked about it in so many games because it's so important. Just not giving away those penalties, and Wales on the ball now, looking explosive, trying to find the pass.
They're setting things up, just got one strike. Here comes the scoop.
Stephen Hewitt on the ball, trying to weave his way through.
And this time, the Swiss do concede a penalty, which is what they were looking for in one of their previous attacks, the Welsh. And this time, Hewitt now takes the touch and gets the balls quickly off the floor. Good touch, good shut down comes from Swiss number 15, that's Martin Buttenshaw.
Yeah, Switzerland doing a good job to stay high and try and just burn that touch for Wales, as that's not a strike play. So just getting up in their face, but giving Wales a lot of time on the ball here. And it's looking at 2-1. Does he finish it?
Oh, there's a touch come in just there, third touch.
Great
Third
recovery
touch
there from Switzerland, being able to chase out onto that Welsh player.
It looked like Darren Berry was over there, but what a desperate touch there from the Swiss. 1-1 still the score. This is one where it's every team is matching each other blow for blow in attack and D. Here comes Berry again. He's taken the long way around.
And that's fifth touch, so no more touches for Wales. They have to do something crazy out here, and he does. And he finds the wing, and that is going to be ball down for Wales, number 14.
Wales have turned an absolutely unpromising position into a try just there, because it looked like they were going absolutely nowhere, only to then create that, that we've seen.
Michael Parson with this try in the left-hand corner.
But created by Stephen Hewitt, who we've seen him be a playmaker already, and that one, he absolutely just stepped up and managed to just, put a bit of direction, and then the missed pass to go out to the winger to score. What a fantastic piece of play by the Welsh.
Yeah, and fifth touch is always so dangerous, because you can create anything from nothing, and we've just seen that from the Wales side. And exciting times with Wales 2, Switzerland 1.
2-2.
What a response from Switzerland.
Commentators cursed that, Alice.
Well, I'm not rooting for anyone, but I just want a good game, and this is giving me a great game.
I think what we're seeing as well is that both teams will be disappointed by the last tries they've conceded. That one's gone through the middle. Wales have just been broken down. They've not scrambled back. They've not been there might have been a breakdown in communication there. Meanwhile, at the other end, we said that that play was breaking down, and then all of a sudden to score from it, the Swiss as a defensive team, you would be absolutely spitting feathers at that. So,
well, on the sweep here, looking out the outside, short side, but a great touch coming in from the Switzerland player.
That's a great touch there, as you say, on Paul Clarkson, diving in, but diving, not sliding, and I wouldn't particularly want to be sliding on the grounds now. Earlier in the week, when they were beautiful and wet, it was great sliding weather. Now it's diving weather.
Yeah, well, when I was talking to the Oman CEO of the touch, he was saying they've never learnt to dive, because where they're from, it's 30 degrees up to 40, up to too hot for me to imagine. And there's never been something in their training to dive, because the grass has always been so dry. So one coming over here to here in Nottingham on those wet days, he's said the training have been diving specific.
Except that we've had 20 to 30 degrees today as Switzerland going. That's a fresh set of 6 there for the Swiss on the 7-metre line. The play gets shut down. There's no deliberate batted down. This is not like other forms of rugby where if you slap the ball down, it's just a fresh set of 6 and a roll ball restart to Switzerland, which is exactly what's happening. And I was just going to, in terms of diving, I'll talk about this in just a second, something I've noticed. It's the first time I've really seen New Zealand and Australia in person, just as Switzerland extends the lead, go in front once again, back to 3-2 with a close range dive. And again, Wales's midfield defence just falls apart when it needs to.
Lovely to see Sweden cheering on with all their supporters, as we can see on the camera here. What an experience.
Switzerland, not Sweden. End of the day. End of the day there for Alice. No, it's just the defender bites in and it just leaves the space open for Daniel Kilmister to dive over unopposed for the Swiss. As the playmakers get going again, and again Wales get a fresh set of 6 this time. Well, this time it's Wales who gets a fresh set of 6. I'm just going to say, first time I've seen Australia and New Zealand very much in the person, and when they kind of put their bodies parallel to the try line and reach out to score, it's impossible to defend. But you don't really see that in this side of the world. It's just the difference of experience, and
it's amazing to see, and it's really eye-widening and such an experience to have such a high standard of players everywhere, and all the games being covered here at Nottingham. So great thing to find out and see for ourselves.
Interception comes in from the Swiss as Wales. It's the second time they've had a really promising position, and the first one was turned into a try. This time the Swiss have held out, and now they're on the front foot and into Wales's half already. They've got a great rumble on going forward there. They've got fresh sets of legs on. In comes the pace. Ball comes off the floor from Kilmister, the try scorer. And here he is again.
Just coming into Wales's 7 and looking like they're setting up for a strike play mid, looking what they can do. A quickie on the outside, stepping back in, giving the ball again, and that's how they scored their last try.
Yeah, as you say, it's the quickie crew, the 2 mids combining, and then because the Welsh right mid is offside, the left mid has got to come and shut in, and then all of a sudden, because the link doesn't come across, you've then got players who are there undefended to dive over and score. As you say, 2 attacks in that way, 2 quick plays, 2 tries. Switzerland now increasing their lead.
And we always say, when something works once, it's going to work until Wales fix it, right?
But then it opens up space for the winger on the outside because you're having to defend tighter.
Exactly, and that's conditioning, and we love to see it here and see what the Wales can do for their defence.
As I can't really talk about conditioning because I'm not a Head and Shoulders man, because I haven't got the hair. Here come the Welsh again, but again, that's the second time they've got into a promising position and it's not come to anything. And Wales's really early promising attacks have fizzled out a little bit as the Swiss have responded and then tied things up and then gone in front and extended their lead to 4. 2.5 minutes, give or take, until the half-time hooter. This is an absolutely breathless game, and we can see just in front of us at a camera shot, the Welsh players are absolutely blowing. It has been a really warm day here in Nottingham. It's mid-20s, almost up to 30 degrees in the sun. We're now a little bit of early evening cool. It's a bit of a breeze. It's perfect conditions. But if you're carrying heavy weight in your legs, not that Wales is number 9. Christian Rees seems to be doing just there, a bit of bounce.
Just Wales on the ball here and looking for the line. Has he made it? Just the touch coming in from the Switzerland player.
Steve Williams there on the dive, number 12.
Just playing around, toying with Switzerland's defence, but they're able to get up high and put on that pressure for Wales.
Yeah, there's not a massive amount of conditioning going on, is there? It's just Wales, they're getting the ball wide. Great hands there by the winger on this near side.
Yeah, ripping it long, missing 2 players.
But but Switzerland up to what was coming towards Michael Parsons, and they shut it down. There's not a massive amount of conditioning going on in midfield, is there, when they've got these, when you've got multiple touches to be able to play with?
Yeah, and just looking like Switzerland are just on top, but with that momentum bringing in, just looks like they're striving in their own path a little bit more than Wales.
You say that after those first, Wales's tries have come from pace and really good core rugby skills, and Switzerland's tries, particularly those last two, are touch tries. Would you say?
Yes, I agree with you there, and just Wales maybe needs something out more of the locker there, especially in line attack, and I'm excited to see what they can bring into the second half. As we have a minute to spare, can they get another one on the board for Wales as we are approaching Switzerland's lines? Number 3 picking up for Wales, looking on the outside, and a score by the link. Is it going to get given?
Yes, it is. That is all about the Wale. That is all about the pace there coming in from Andrew Harrison there in the mids. It's Paul Clarkson again who's dived over. But that's just, we talked about Wales have the ability to round it and then the awareness to pass to an undefended player, scoring from slightly further out. And that's 3 tries have been scored just like that. And it's really exactly what they needed in the last minute before half time to bring this game not back into the balance. 2 tries in a 40-minute game isn't much, but at the same point, it gives you that fillip, gives you that confidence going into the break.
Yeah, we've just come in here, Wales defending this out now. And both teams will be super happy with.
You've commentated with me enough to know what's coming next. One thing for each team to look out for to try and put right in the sub box during halftime.
I think for this Switzerland team, they are looking really strong, and especially in their attack. Maybe sticking tighter in their defence to not let Wales's pace run straight past them.
And okay, thanks very much. She's Alice Summers. I'm Chris Weirmouth. We'll be back after this with the second half of Wales-Switzerland in the men's 45s quarterfinals. World-class sport here in the heart of Nottingham at the University of Nottingham's Highfields Sports Complex. It's the Touch World Cup 2024 men's 45 quarterfinals between Switzerland, who are leading Wales 4-3. It's going to be the Swiss who are going to tap off in red, playing from right to left as we look. My name's Chris Wearmouth. Alice Summers, a foot and a half to my right.
Yes.
Here pitchside in the early evening. Warmth. The sun has gone. The cloud cover is here. If you were down at Trent Bridge watching the test match, it's perfect swing bowling weather. Except the swing bowler king, Jimmy Anderson, has retired, but he's there with England as a bowling coach. Alice, you are still here as an analyst for the England Women's Open. What's caught your eye over the last couple of days in the Women's Open category?
I mean, this is my first time ever being at a World Cup and seeing all these different countries, so much different to a Euros, and just the wideness of different players that we have and the different styles of play that different teams bring to it. Some can be super technical, some can just be steppy and fast, and it's the game plan that we got to think about, and especially with this team, and we have so much potential and so much to bring. I'm really looking forward to what they have in store.
Women's Open heads into the crucial stages tomorrow. That's Saturday. The thing is, these days, these events, every day just blends into one great big one. So it is day 5 today. 2 more days to come. Longest World Cup ever. Biggest World Cup ever. 187 teams, 39 nations, 13 categories, all the way up to men's 55s and the men's 45s, who will have their final tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. That's what these two teams are aiming for. But it's more important to get out of this quarterfinal first as Switzerland look to go round. We saw the Welsh do this a couple of times in the first half. Switzerland, the tap comes in on Rob Milnes, the number 6. But Wales have conceded a penalty.
Switzerland kicking it off in style. Great momentum there, and change of pace just coming around on that sweeper. So important in any movement.
Switzerland now, we've seen them score a couple of tries through the middle. They're trying this quickie again through the middle. Is it going to pay diff? No, this time it's been dropped.
And that was a big chance there for Switzerland
Jamie Nettleton, yeah, just there, just dropping the ball over the line. They in the first half, we saw him score a couple of plays on a really basic middle play. This time it was a little bit more complicated, and that's a penalty given against the Welsh for a heavy touch in attack. And you don't, as they say, you don't see that every day.
Yeah, commentating down on Riverside as well. I've noticed in this men's 45s, it is very physical, and a lot of teams have been pulled up on this, and I've never seen this really in the open side, but especially in these later stage of games.
These two teams are leaving it out on the field. Switzerland finished 3rd in their pool. Wales finished 2nd in theirs. Switzerland finishing 3rd courtesy of a win over England, 6-5 yesterday, which was a little bit of, you would say it's a little bit of a surprise on paper, but the Swiss are stepping it up once again on 5th touch. Looking to, that's a fresh set of 6 conceded by the Welsh.
And doing a line defence is so hard. Doing 1, but doing 2 on the bounce halfway through the game, that can be detrimental to this side scoring. Switzerland just picking up there, finding the link, and great touch by that Welsh link over there.
Yeah, conditioning the Welsh, pulling the Welsh over to this near side on the camera side, and just in front of Nottingham Hockey Centre. And that is a turnover conceded for a fumble on the deck. And there's one thing I've noticed as well from the referees here during the World Cup this year. They are, if that ball barely moves like a cigarette paper's width away, they're going to give it for a fumble.
But that's what keeps the standard of this World Cup so high. Making sure every roll ball is exact and the refs are all on the same page. That's what we love to see.
And Switzerland compound that by conceding a penalty on halfway, and here come the Welsh. Perfect platform in order to set up. Richard Downton takes the touch, and he's got the ball again. He finds try scorer Steve Hewitt in the link. In the mid, sorry, there's links on the far side.
Wales going for a quickie here, looking for the outsides, and just Switzerland chasing that man down.
Yeah, they've done that scramble a couple of times, haven't they? It worked to create a try in the first half, but this time it's one of those things that the Swiss have shown that they can adapt to and defend, and that is another turnover.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of these penalties being given so far, and that's what makes or breaks the game.
Yeah, Wales just seem to be running up a couple more blind alleys than Switzerland, especially in and around that middle area. Not playing maybe as much touch as Switzerland, a bit more direct rugby. It's an oval ball sport, 2 oval ball sports, run forward, pass backwards, put the ball down. And here come the Swiss over on this near side, long ball out to...
Cutting back in to the mids from the wing.
Rob Milnes there gets that ball, shows good pace and good awareness and good catching, but runs up a blind alley all of his own there, and a double touch comes in from the Welsh. Thou shalt not pass, say the Welsh midfield, and the Swiss do not, and already they are back in their own half.
Yeah, this number 9 for Wales, Christian Reeves, have been so dangerous, and will he pick up now? Oh, just a good touch from that Switzerland's midfield D, stopping all momentum, trying to kick something from nothing, and the switch play. Looking on the outside, but just ball down for Wales.
Yeah, they're trying to create something absolutely out of nothing there, were the Welsh. So, yeah, as you say, just kind of ground to all. It's one of the things we've seen. We talked in the first half about the physicality being shown by both teams, and it's the way you just get up and slow that play down in defence. And the Swiss did that absolutely perfectly just there. It took all of the fizz out of Wales's attack, and on that one, that's just a loss of control, but we heard that thud from all the way over here, some 40 metres away.
Yeah, and just ending it for a good field position for Wales. They'll be happy with this, but trying to gain some metres here. Lovely touch there, and getting some fresh legs on for Wales.
And not using up touches to get over to the box either, getting players on very efficiently are the Welsh, and here they come. Onto the far left goes Paul Clarkson. He's shown his pace a few times in this game, and he does so again, but Switzerland scramble and make the touch, and Wales now have to set things up through Rhys Maber.
Yeah, looking for a strike play here. What can Wales do? Looking for a quickie, and he just picks up by himself, and he's through. He's looking for a player over the head, but man on.
Interestingly enough, having said about bobbling ball, that ball was really bobbling when it was put down. I think Wales kind of got away with one, but here comes a chat between the referees.
Just looking at the replay now, Switzerland definitely, I think that's going to be awarded
That has been awarded as a heavy touch. Plenty of chat there by the officials, but really those, I mean, when you look it back, that's about as heavy a touch as you're gonna see. That's a bit like driving a JCB through a Fomex wall.
Oh wow.
Or indeed running flat out at a 5-year-old child.
Hopefully we don't see that anytime soon.
No, absolutely not. Of course, we're referring here, and we've got a global audience here, but referring to our former Prime Minister, who was well renowned for putting up some stunts and for naming a couple there. But here come the Swiss. I'll shut up now about that. Here come the Swiss, putting some pace on into the Welsh half.
And that's going to be rewarded another hard touch. Just the referee's actually having a discussion here, seeing what's going to happen, bringing in the Welsh player to have a discussion, and he's going to be sent for time. At the end of the try line over there, we see that Welsh player get subbed off.
He's gone for time, and that is the number 15. That is the far winger, Darryl Williams, and he's been sent to the sin bin. Now, if this is the first time you've seen a sin bin, is that Darryl Williams has to stay on for 4 changes of possession. That's regardless of whether Switzerland score or not. And diving in through the line, and there's an offside there by the Welsh. This score is going to count. Switzerland extend the lead again. Once again, that is Credence Wetford, or might be Vetford. You'll have to excuse my pronunciation.
Yeah, and just getting sent for time is a really critical moment for Wales, because this is where it could come down. Such a tight game and all matters here.
The Swiss back 2 in front. 11 and a half minutes to go in the second half. Of course, if I talked about 4 changes of possession, unless you concede a try, which is what Wales then did, because it puts you at a greater disadvantage on the scoreboard. But Wales are now looking to hit back. The ball comes out from Stephen Hewitt towards Stuart Raya, but instead finds the green stuff on the floor.
Yeah, I just couldn't execute that last pass there, but Switzerland wanting to drive out of their own half and getting a real good groove on here with a pace along the wing, but needing to take that back so he didn't go over the mark here.
Yeah, that's Wales did very well just to slow that down, because the Swiss were getting a good roll on there. But there was definitely no creamy jam finish to that attack, although there might be as they set up. But they'll have done very well to create something from now. It's the last touch. Here comes the Swiss. Interception!
Oh, wow. What a read when he made the whole pitch looking for another play, and he gives the ball. But Switzerland look like he has the pace. No, Wales is going to outrun him. The dives there. Has he made the touch? No, he doesn't. And what a run by the Welsh team.
Finished by Darren Berry on the outside. But that was all made by the interception and the awareness of Steve Williams. Snatching the ball out of the air, but also realising, number 1, I don't have the pace. Number 2, I know a man who does. Off you go, and he scores in the corner.
That was saucy, that play, a bit like some sweet chilli. We love to see it.
Michael Parsons, it's Michael Parsons there, who had that interception, who snatched the ball out of the air like Michael Jordan, but had the awareness of Lionel Messi to set up somebody around him.
Oh, just the loss of control there by Switzerland in that roll ball. It's going to be a turnover, and they're shouting to their player to come to the sub box really fast and get a new fresh pair of boots on.
You know, I'm just made myself look like a complete idiot. Of course he stays over there until there's 4 possessions, regardless of whether there's a score. I thought he'd come back when they'd conceded, but no. Wales now back up to...
Oh, just a trip up on the wing here and...
full 6, but that is a touch. And ironically enough, that was almost like there was a hand. It was a rugby-style handoff to create space there by the Welsh player Richard Downton, number 5. Except that you, as an attacking player, make the touch, and it is a touch.
Sometimes when you have been playing rugby, it's hard to take the rugby out of touch rugby, as we can see in this game.
And we can just see here there's the conversation there between the player and the referee, who is explaining. Just clarifying it, as I say, when you've been growing up playing a particular code of rugby, it's very, as you say, in the heat of battle, it's very difficult to switch yourself into a different code, even regardless of sometimes of how long you've been playing it. And that handoff ended up being a touch.
And also, it's just the mindset behind it.
8 minutes to play, 5-4 the Swiss lead here in Nottingham. Wales need a try to send this into extra time and to go through to the semi-finals.
And just one of these Switzerland players here just been come off the pitch in front of us by a sub-box, and looks like he has a bloody nose. So really, really intense game, as we can see. And the score, 4 to Wales, 5 to Switzerland. So everything's on the line here. Diving for the line between the mid gap, and referee's calling
6 touch.
6 touch. Wow. What a defensive play here by Wales.
Just while Wales run a quick sub move, these are the other quarterfinals. England have the straightforward chance of play, the straightforward quarterfinal of Australia. This is the quarterfinal 2, which is Wales, obviously against the 2 teams we're seeing, Wales and Switzerland. As Wales get going, we'll let you know with what the other 2 were in, or the other 2 quarterfinals are in just a second, as Wales set up camp once again. Deep and attempted.
Between the legs pass. Was that going to be a trick pass that we were going to see?
No. Quite simply. There's a reason why Brian O'Driscoll was Irish. It's Barry John-esque. That was not. Anyway, the other two quarterfinals, Chile are playing New Zealand and Jersey are playing France. And whoever wins this one will play the semi-finals are...
Oh, big touch again, as we can see. Just the Switzerland player going down there.
Whoever wins this is a great chance of making the final, because they're the ones who will be playing either Jersey or France. So the winner of quarterfinal 2 plays the... Sorry, they'll be... No, sorry, I'm telling a lie. Sorry, Porky. Because it's listed here on the website as 1, 2, 4 and 3 rather than 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the winner of this game plays the winner of the Chile-New Zealand game, when they will then play the winner of with Australia or England playing Jersey or France. And it looks like at the moment the Swiss are taking more of a control over this. They are 2 in front. Once again, that dive over from Daniel Kilmister.
Yeah, lovely try there from Daniel. As we can see, Switzerland get a quickie play again, step back and give that ball we've seen so many times in that first half. That's paid off, and it pays off again in this second half.
And we've seen a lot of, virtually all their tries have come through the middle channel, and that one this time is the variant on a theme, but the assist, you can just see how happy he is with that. That's a great piece of play by the Swiss.
And Wales wanting to answer back, just going on the outside of that mid-Switzerland player.
You could hear that call down at Riverside, and there's nobody there. Comes the call from the Swiss defence on the touch from Steve Williams, who comes on a wrap over on that far side. And Wales now have a great opportunity to pull it back to 1 down with 5 minutes to play. Yeah. Switzerland concede a heavy touch. Here comes Nick Wythe on this near side. He gets the ball back, finds the key playmaker, Christian Rees. Rees gets the ball back off the floor. We've seen him try to dance his way around the Swiss a few times this game. He tries again, but the Swiss once again shut things down.
Just a mid play here for Wales, wanting the ball back. And I think the ref's going to give a hard touch maybe here.
No, I think are they topping? No, that's a penalty for...
Incorrect roll ball.
A forward pass off the floor by the looks of it. And this is the key. So if we're going to now call a key difference between the mid plays of Wales just there and Switzerland, is that when Christian Rees has been taking the board in for Wales, Nick Wythe, who's his middle partner, is passing the board and then stepping back. Switzerland, on the other hand, are taking the taking the roll ball, taking the touch, sorry, and whenever the roll ball's there's a player there, straight off the ball.
Immediately, yeah. And we all know how important it is to have your half there quickly.
Those two, if you're coaching, if you're looking back, if you're just new to the game, you just watch that previous Wales attack and then the previous couple of Swiss attacks for the difference, as you say, in having a quick ball off the floor makes.
So important with mid plays and quickie plays especially. But Wales just on the ball now, and this is an opportunity they need to take to stay in this game. 5th touch, taking it on short side, looking for space, and the wing is there, and it's going to be...
He's landed on the sideline.
Forward pass.
I think that's given us, that could have been a couple of things there. If we see if there is a replay, hopefully there will be.
I think pass.
It's a forward pass, but I think he landed on the sideline anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. We just see the play come, and Switzerland are there. Yeah, there was a forward pass. I think it may have just grazed the sideline, but you can see the Swiss winger knew that he'd bitten in a little bit too much to even create that opportunity for the Welsh, but the Swiss have escaped. And up they come into the Welsh half, getting some fresh legs on. It slowed down a little bit for the leaders, but getting some fresh, as I say, the fresh legs mean fresh momentum, and up they come deep into the Welsh half.
Yeah, just Switzerland on the ball here, and they would love to get another one before...
6th touch.
Before the hooter goes.
At this point now, with 2 minutes to play, 2.5 minutes to play, at what point does a call come in to talk about time management?
I mean, game management is something the coach needs to call, and something the players need to think about, and it's always been a subtle thing. but we want to play fairly in every game and want to see the most touch as possible. So I'll be happy if they want to play fast, because I want to see some good touch.
These players have definitely earned their urban ice tribe baths over by the hockey centre. They've definitely earned that. There has been, both teams have left absolutely everything out there in the last 40 minutes. We've got 90 seconds to play. It's the unofficial clock. The only clock that matters is the one up by in tournament control coming out of Mitch's computer. That's the only one that matters. And Switzerland, we're talking about game management, and they now get the chance to just go into cruise control.
Yeah, here they're going to take all the touches in, I would imagine, and try and get another try on the board.
Little middle plays coming in.
And he's picked up, and he's hit the link hole, but an amazing touch has come in. No, the referee's going to give it.
That's been given. Gavin Maloney has absolutely sealed this game for Switzerland. He joins the crowd to applaud himself.
He looks so happy with this try, picking up and chopping that hole so well.
Yeah, with this time we saw there's just the fatigue now in the Welsh mids defence. Just couldn't get back in. The link tries his hardest to get there. The winger tries his hardest to cut there. But the line is too good from Switzerland, and so is their finish. And Switzerland are going to be heading through to play the winner of Chile versus New Zealand tomorrow for a chance to go into the grand final, the men's 45 final, or at the very least, a bronze medal match. And we can just see with this kind of performance how the win over England was not a fluke, that they deserve to be taken seriously.
They do deserve to be taken seriously, and what a game we have on our hands. And I can't wait for more to come from the men's 45s.
Yes, we'll see that tomorrow. And the men's 45 is the final game here on Saturday here at Touch World Cup 2024. Sunday is finals day. Finals back to back from 8 o'clock in the morning through till 5 o'clock in the evening. But tomorrow, Switzerland get the chance to get into a final of their own. They will be playing either New Zealand or Chile for the right to beat either Australia or England in the men's 45 final. Plenty of credit to both teams on this one. 7-4 it finished. I think that's a worthy win for Switzerland, and I think a reflection of the difference in terms of touch ability, but not a reflection in terms of effort, because both teams have left absolutely everything out there.
Hearts have been left out there and passion's been left out here. I mean, what a game we saw, and Switzerland come out on top.
Yes, and you can just see, we heard the Swiss fans earlier in the first half getting behind their team, and we're just seeing, we can just see on this near side, on that far side, how happy the Swiss fans are. The cowbells must be ringing down in Geneva tonight, up in the Alps tonight, and the flags are certainly flying here with a guard of honor, a well-deserved guard of honor for the Swiss. They are going to enjoy their evening meal and their ice baths. We are off to enjoy a little break of our own. Thank you very much to Alice Summers, and we'll be back with England versus Wales in the men's 50s. That's at 6:30.